Hi, this is a DIY tennis tube in action. If you are interested in making one for yourself, I will show you how to do it. Okay, let's start making our DIY tennis tube. What you need is three empty tennis ball cans, and as you can see, I have cut off the bottom part of the label, and then you need to cut two cans where there is a small ridge here. Just along the ridge, if you cut it, you will have a good marker as a straight cut. So what I have done is I have used this sharp blade just to make an insertion into the tennis tube, and then I have used a scissors to slowly cut off the bottom part of it along the ridge. By using the scissors, I will have a better control as to how I'm able to progress the cut. If you just use the blade, it just keeps going everywhere, and then you will not have a straight cut. What's important here is to have a straight, clean cut. That's why I'm using a scissor. And then in the next video, I'll be showing the end result of it. Here you can see that I have cut along the ridge of this, and then it has fairly clean cut. You don't have to be too precise, but if you are precise, then it will be much better. So similarly, I'm going to cut end of this tube also along the ridge line. I need to cut only two tubes because the third one doesn't need to be cut. I will show you why. Now I have cut both the cans, and you can see that if I need to insert this into this, it doesn't fit because both are having the same diameter. So the solution is to reduce the diameter of this one and then insert it into this, and in a minute I will show you how to do it. Okay, the next part is to shrink the ball can. So for this, if you want to shrink it well and control shrinking and uniformly, you need to boil some hot water in a saucepan, roughly about half an inch of water in the saucepan. And then what you do is you just dip it slightly, not for long. You can see it has already shrunk a little bit, and then you try to fit it in, and then it should be fitting tightly. If you shrink too much, it will go a bit loose when you try to fit the cans. So you don't do it all at once. Slowly dip it little and then take it out quickly. And then if it doesn't fit, you just dip it again and then take it out quickly. So that way you should be able to shrink just the bottom part of it and fit it inside the one can into another can. Okay, that way you will be able to assemble three cans together. The top can, this doesn't need to be shrunk, so because this is going to be like this. In the next video I will explain what's the next process. This is how three can assembled looks like. So the next part of it is to use a hot glue gun, and then at these joints you apply the hot glue to each of the joints carefully. All around you need to do it. I will show you how it looks like once it's done. This is the final assembled tennis tube. Here you can see I have used the glue gun to fix these joints. There's one joint here and another joint here. And then the final part, which is this ring, which is actually the cap that came along with this tennis cans. these days you have some brands which provide this cap, something like this with the opening. So the cap is small enough, the opening is small enough that it won't let the balls fall off when you close it. But in our case, what we need to do is we need to make two cuts here, one cut here and one cut here, so that when I press the ball against it, the ball goes inside. So what I am going to do now, after making the cut, I'm going to fix this, and then we'll do a test run of it. See, what you can see is this is a tennis ball, and then I've pushed it firmly. Now the ball is inside. So if I want to empty the can, empty the tube, all I need to do is just remove this, and then the ball drops off. So that's how I use it. And then if this cap becomes loose, or if the balls are falling off, you can always get a new cap. They are always available everywhere in so many tennis courts. They are just thrown off. You can find them in the tennis courts. So that's what is a DIY tennis tube. It cost me $0. Of course, you probably need a glue gun. If you don't have one, you can buy one, and that's going to be useful in many other things also. Thanks for watching.